Hi, and welcome to Something to Talk About. I'm Linda McNamee, and as you saw from our introduction, we are going to find out more about the Lawnmower Dream Team. Bunch of superheroes, stealth mode, making sure Burlington stays beautiful. But before we begin, as always, I have a few housekeeping things to take care of. We are not live this evening, so if you wish to contact me later or have a question for my guest, whom you will meet momentarily, you can always email me at talk@bcattv.org. And as always, I would like to thank my crew for this evening. Chris Flaherty, staff member here, making sure that us volunteers behave ourselves and always make us look good. So thank you, Chris. And I'm going to jump ahead a little bit and say there is no daddy date night tonight because the other part of my crew is Evan McNamee. Evan making his directorial debut. So good luck, Evan. And his sister is off doing scout things. So anyway, housekeeping aside, I think that's it. Now I would like to introduce my wonderful guest for this evening, Jay Barnes, who is the founder of the Burlington Lawnmowers Dream Team. Oh, I love that name. Sounds like superheroes, all you need is capes. So welcome.
Thank you very much for having me represent the Burlington Lawnmowers Dream Team.
All right. Sounds like a new Olympic sport.
Right, and the thing is, we could have been called the Four Cheers, but it was just, what are we going to call our fun, seasonal, short-term group? And I was saying, well, the Burlington Lawnmowers Dream Team sounds pretty nice.
It does. Well, before we get into the Dream Team, I'd like to, my audience and I to get to know you a little bit more. So Can you tell me where you grew up, how you came to Burlington, and what made you kind of get the idea for the Dream Team? I know that's a lot, but.
Thank you. Believe it or not, lived in Burlington.
Woohoo!
Raised in Burlington, graduated high school back in 1983. Enjoyed running cross-country track, playing other sports.
Cool.
Trying my best in school.
As we all do.
Went to Northeastern University, graduated 2 3/4 times. 8 classes short from my MBA.
Oh, no.
And they were all electives, too. But, so I lived in Burlington, from birth probably till up until 2006. And then 2005 actually, when I got married, moved to Malden.
Okay.
And my wife is Dr. Cami Smith-Barnes. She earned her PhD in Harvard.
Excellent.
Mathematics.
Wow.
So she's real smart, but she's so down to earth. You wouldn't realize how brilliant she is. So her career was 2 colleges. The first one was in Virginia.
Okay.
From 2009 to 2015, we lived at Sweetbriar College.
Ooh.
She was a mathematics professor there. The college claimed they were closing after 100+ years.
Could happen.
So she got another position at University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma from 2015 to 2018.
Okay.
And then she said, you know something? I'm going to teach myself how to be a computer programmer.
Oh, wow.
Taught herself while she was still teaching.
Wow.
And she Google found out that because she was playing all these games and she was being in the top 1%. And Google said,
who is this person?
We need to interview you for a position at Google. She was offered the position, so we moved in December 2018 back to Burlington, Massachusetts. So it's a full circle.
I love
Born
it.
in Massachusetts, in Burlington, back in Burlington, Massachusetts.
Excellent. So while you were out in Oklahoma is when you got the idea for the Dream Team? The first Dream Team?
The first Dream Team. The Chickasha, Oklahoma Lawnmowers Dream Team. I was saying, well, how can I keep myself, because I'm a full-time volunteer wherever I live. I mean, I helped out with the Burlington Food Pantry back in 2009. Excuse me, from 2000 to 2009.
Oh, wow.
And when we moved to Virginia, I did volunteer work there.
I love
But getting
it.
back to the Chickasha Lawnmowers Dream Team, I said, well, how can I make a difference? And I actually thought we could pick up litter throughout Chickasha.
Okay,
And I
well,
was doing that.
That's a job that you'd be, job security there.
Well, as volunteers, but
Okay.
it didn't seem like anyone else was interested, so I was doing
Yeah.
that myself, and I was saying, well,
This
what else
isn't
can
fun.
what else can I do? And
Yeah.
I was walking, saw a lot of high grass, and I said, hey, if I get a lawnmower, maybe I could ask people on the internet, because there's different Chickasha, Oklahoma
Okay.
groups.
Oh, okay.
Is there a need?
Yeah.
And people were saying, yeah, we definitely need someone that's
Okay.
willing to do it for free as a volunteer. So,
Landscaping
how it
can get
became.
expensive.
well, it is. And the funny thing is, people think that I have years and years and years of experience as a landscaper, and I didn't.
No.
I did mow my lawn when I lived in Burlington.
Okay.
I did mow my lawn in Virginia, and I did mow my lawn in Oklahoma.
See, there you
but
go. You're experienced.
I was just trying to learn what to do.
Okay.
Started March 2018 in Chickasha, Oklahoma, and it spread like wildfire. They said there's a volunteer that's willing to help out. And the 5 categories back then were financial distress, elderly, veterans, single parents, and I always forget the other thing. There's one other group that we help, but the main thing is they needed to be some type of financial distress.
Okay.
Like, I wasn't going to mow a lawn for someone that had like 7 football players that lived in the house, because
Already
have
had
able bodies and
7-figure
and-
salary. Yeah.
right.
Okay.
I was trying to help out the people that really needed the service. And the reason I called it the Chickasha Lawnmowers Dream Team is I don't know how to weed whack. I know how to pull weeds.
Lawnmowers. Okay.
I know how to pull weeds. I know how to hedge, trim
Weed
hedges.
whackers can be kind of scary.
I know how to use loppers for
Okay.
branches, but I didn't want to call it the Chickasha Lawnmowers Weed Pulling, Branch Trimming, Branch Carrying,
Yeah.
and Hedge Clipping Dream Team. That would have been too wordy. And plus,
Yeah,
I
it
gotta
wouldn't
be
fit on
honest,
a business card.
it wouldn't, and it wouldn't fit on a shirt, which I have, and I can show you eventually. But I was saying, I'm going to try my best, and I'm also going to try my best to get volunteers.
Okay.
And I didn't think I'd be able to get any volunteers, and I didn't. Even though I had this great idea,
Yeah.
nobody else would volunteer.
Really?
And Chickasha had a population of about 18,000.
And
And it was
nobody
promoted on the internet. It was promoted in newspapers. It was even promoted with flyers
Wow.
saying we could use some. I could use some volunteers, because first of all,
That's a lot of time for you to
yes,
invest
like I
in
know how to
marketing.
do everything except the weed whacking or weed
Okay.
eating, but it takes a long time to do a
It
yard.
does. Oh, yeah.
And people say, well, why didn't you just mow? Well, a lot of times the people I was helping, they had a lot of branches on the ground.
Okay.
They had rubbish on the ground. I could tell they needed extra
It
assistance.
was more than
besides-
just the lawn.
Yeah, because
Any
the-
outdoor maintenance.
the
yeah.
branches, the hedges needed to be trimmed. The thing is, though, back then, I didn't ask them if they already had a landscaper. I just assumed they did. And I didn't have them sign any waiver because I thought I was just helping. So I did that for about 9 months. Finally, there were a couple people that did volunteer,
Woohoo.
but they only did it on a short term.
Okay.
So I did literally 86 lawns either by myself or with those
Oh.
2 other people.
Wow.
But then there was a gentleman named Rick Stitt who said, Jay, I want to be a member of the Chickasha Lawnmowers Dream Team also. We did 36 lawns together.
Not
When
bad.
my wife and I,
Did he weed whack?
he weed whacked too. That was
Oh,
the
even
great
better.
part. He weed whacked and he mowed lawns, and we did it together, and it was fun. And he had a great personality. He's a disabled veteran, and he's just a real nice guy. And we became friends, not just mowing lawns, but he also assisted me with one of my pet projects is when I have yard sales, I donate 30% to specific causes. So he was there helping and making sure that getting up real early, because for a yard sale that starts at 8, you got to start setting up at 4 in the morning.
And people show up like at 6 for the 8 o'clock.
It's funny, I always said no early birds, but people show up.
They always do.
And I said no smoking either, because I didn't want the stuff smelling like smoke. And whenever anyone came with cigarettes, I said, I'm sorry, this is a smoke-free place. But he and his wife set up tables with me, and at the end, took down the tables, put the stuff. But we also went out to dinners. He came over for cookouts. His wife came over for cookouts.
That's excellent.
So we became friends. When I moved with my wife, December 2018, back to Burlington, he changed the name, which was great, to the J. Barnes Lawn Mowing Project.
Wow.
And he mowed 300 lawns on his own. He wasn't able to get any volunteers either. And there's a lot of young people.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, I'm 56. My friend Rick was 61, is 61 now. But there were plenty of people in their 20s and 30s that could have helped.
Well, I think, being in your 50s and 60s, you appreciate the volunteer ethic a lot more. And when you're 20s and 30s, you want to make the money. So I'm not volunteering for anything.
Well, some people said, oh my word, you work for free? And I said, no, it's called volunteering. I know in advance.
Yes.
We didn't accept payment. We didn't accept tips. Back then, though, just like here, we do accept water, fruit. Some people make dinners, but and they're real nice dinners too. Like, I don't eat fast food. We can get into that. But people were great in Chickasha. And then I thought in 2019, hey, I'm going to start in the spring and have a Burlington Lawnmowers Dream Team. But I hurt my back sneezing.
Oh, no.
So for 2 years, I couldn't do anything.
Oh, no.
Constant pain. It felt like the lower back was being punched or a sledgehammer. It hurt so bad.
You doing better now?
Definitely better now, but back then, the Dream Team aspirations were put on hold. It was just a dream. And it was a nightmare being in that type of agony, because I never really experienced that. And the thing is, I gained a lot of weight because I wasn't running.
Well, you were used to exercising.
I wasn't exercising. I wasn't walking. I really didn't care. I was just eating burgers and fries, pizzas. So for 2 years, I went from maybe my current weight to 271.
Ooh.
And I said, enough's enough.
Yeah.
I got to get back into shape. I'm going to, even if I die trying. So I started walking.
Okay.
Even though I'm a former Boston marathoner. Started walking. Yeah, I ran the marathon in 90 and 91. 2 hours and 40 minutes was my fastest time.
That's impressive. Just running the Boston Marathon, it's like super hard.
I weighed 135. I was the same height, but I went up to 271 January of this year. And I said, it's time to get back into shape. So I was walking first for 5 minutes.
You look great right now.
Well, right now I'm 203.
But still, that's...
I've lost 68
like
pounds in 8 months without using Hydroxycut or without using any weirdo...
Just getting exercise was probably
without
had a lot
any
to do
using
with
like
it.
any weirdo diet. But started walking, getting back into shape. I'm up to 2.5 hours of walking in the morning before I even stop mowing lawns.
Wow. And going back and forth on a lawn, you get your steps
and the weed whacking and everything else.
And pushing and, Wow.
And using different muscles.
Well, you're also, transporting your lawnmower. So getting it in and out.
We can talk about that, because usually it takes 2 people, and I do not have a ramp. I didn't have one in Chickasha. I don't have a ramp in Burlington. So I'm lifting the lawnmower by my side and getting into my hatchback.
So much
So
for
long.
the back issues.
Well, fortunately, the back is strong again.
Right.
But what was I going to say? I actually didn't think there'd be. Well, when I was walking, I was saying, is there a need for Burlington? Because Burlington's completely different from Chickasha.
Okay.
Different education level, different skill sets, careers, what people do for a living.
Okay.
But I was saying, wait a minute. I volunteered at the Burlington Food Pantry. There's a need.
Wait a minute. I volunteer. I
And
know these
everyone
things.
that uses the food pantry is not living in an apartment. So
Okay.
when I was walking, I noticed some high grass. This was
Okay.
this was Labor Day, a couple of days before we actually started. And I was saying, there's high grass. People need their lawns mowed. This is not abandoned property.
So wait, Labor Day this year?
Well, Memorial Day, excuse me.
Oh,
It was Memorial Day. It was May 30th, 31st.
Okay, so May, springtime. Okay.
So I put on the Burlington, Massachusetts Residents Network. I said, I'm thinking of starting the Burlington Lawnmowers Dream Team, where we'll mow lawns for free for people in need, veterans, elderly. Oh, the word is injured. We don't use the word handicapped. You could have a sore back like I did, but you need assistance, or single parents.
Okay.
And people are saying, this is a great idea.
Yeah.
And people are saying, I remember you as a food pantry volunteer.
Really?
And then I mentioned, well, in 2018, I helped out in Chickasha, Oklahoma, and people are saying, there's definitely a need.
Nobody wanted to help, but
Well,
what kind of response did you get here?
It's funny. It was all positive from the people saying, yes, do it. And with a man named Pierre, I think his last name's Kayali, he's French. He helped me eventually set up a Burlington Lawnmowers Dream Team Facebook page.
Oh,
because we were just using the Burlington, Massachusetts Residents Network and buy for nothing.
It was getting lost.
Well, we were using it, but we wanted our own thing where people could see what we're doing.
Find you, yeah.
So I called it the Burlington, real original, the Burlington Lawnmowers Dream Team.
Hey, it works.
It works, and I was also thinking, since I don't know how to weed whack, what if I don't get any volunteers? At least I'll mow and I'll do other things.
Exactly.
Literally the same day, a man from Burlington said, I'm interested in helping.
Wow.
So it was completely different from Chickasha. I'm interested in helping. I can mow.
Do you weed whack?
I can weed whack.
Oh, sweet.
And I'm saying, this is great. So that was the first person.
Okay.
So but it's funny, our very first person, we pulled weeds. And the reason I didn't we pull weeds, because I didn't want like 60, 70, 80 people saying, oh, can you volunteer and pull weeds?
Yeah, no.
We wanted to really focus on lawn mowing and maybe weed whacking or weed pulling.
Well, there are a lot of stone walls around here, so there's only so close you can get to a stone wall while mowing the lawn. So you kind of need that weed whacker to...
I know. The thing is, I'm probably the worst person at weed whacking in Burlington. I'm afraid that I'm going to get hit in the eye. I'm afraid, even if I'm wearing glasses, I did get hit. I did try to weed whack once in Chickasha, and I got hit in the face.
Yeah, bad experience. I get it.
So I was gun shy. But it exploded. We went from 2 volunteers. The next week, we had a 14-year-old saying, I'd like to volunteer.
Oh,
and at the same time, the lady I mentioned from Germany wanted to volunteer exclusively weed pulling. The young 14-year-old, he said, Jay, I've been mowing lawns since 9, and I know how to use a leaf blower. I know how to use a weed whacker, and I know how to use a sit-down lawnmower.
Oh,
and I was thinking, wait a minute, he's 14. He's a minor. I'm not. I'm not really sure this is going to work out. So I asked the other 2 volunteers, "What do you think?" And they said, and I agreed with them. We'll have him as a short-term volunteer, but either his mother or father have to be there each time because he's a
Okay.
minor.
Yeah.
Well, the good news, his father joined the Dream Team.
Oh, I
and
love
he was
it.
great. He knew how to weed whack.
Okay.
So that's
Well, the
another
kid had
weed
to learn it
whacker.
from somewhere.
And he learned from his father.
Yeah.
And his father's originally from Russia, and they speak some Russian. And it was funny, I could tell they were speaking
And
Russian.
now you're learning how to speak Russian.
Well, I knew some words, but I knew German because I took
Okay.
German in high school
Oh, okay.
and in middle school also. But
Okay.
so we went up to 5 people, way more than Chickasha, Oklahoma.
Well, yeah.
And we were like a dream team. And then we got another person who was 65, and he said, and everyone once again thought, oh, you must have tons of years of experience as a
No.
landscaper. I'm saying, no. I'm
No.
learning, and because of them, I'm learning from them. They taught me how to do what's called a horizontal mowing or vertical mowing, because I was taught to use like a box mow where you just go around the perimeter,
Oh, okay.
box, box, box. But no, you either do a horizontal,
Okay.
well, you do a vertical, up, down,
Yeah, I kind of do
or
that.
horizontal like that. I didn't know. I was just doing the box. And
Well, I watched my dad growing up, and he went back and forth and back and forth.
well, I
So
learned the box.
I do that until like I change areas of the lawn, and then I'm like,
When the volunteers said you can do the box in the back of the yard, but the front, the sides, you want it nice and even where it looks just as good as a landscaper.
wow.
And you want the lawn to look as nice as
Yeah.
your lawn or as nice as anyone else on the street. You know, you don't want to mow a lawn saying, hey, I can mow the lawn, and it's like not level and stuff like that. But
Yeah, I think the first time I mowed the lawn, I had like 3 feet where I missed a spot. I'm like, no. And of course, I didn't know until I put the lawnmower away.
so we first communicated the information Facebook,
Okay.
but we also use flyers.
Really?
Yes. And the flyer changed. First, it just said the Burlington Lawnmowers Dream Team. We will assist Burlington residents exclusively. But it also mentioned we will not mow vacant property or abandoned property.
Okay.
We will not mow lawns. We'll mow only residential property. But it also mentioned if you already have a landscaper,
Right.
especially without the signed contract, we will not mow your lawn. And it says, just like in Chickasha, sorry, we will not take jobs away from landscapers. Because we won't.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Because we're not like that. We're
Right.
just a volunteer group. And we're not
and
trying
you want to help everyone. You just
we
yeah.
want to help. We do
And
want
if
to
you're
help.
taking business away, that's not really helping.
Right. That's hurting
Okay.
the community, and it makes us look bad.
Right.
And we
okay.
really wanted to focus on the people that cannot afford a landscaper. Here's an example. I could mow my mother's lawn, but she has a landscaper, so I can't mow her lawn. But her contract says anybody can trim bushes or
okay.
trim hedges or
Okay.
use a lopper.
So how'd you get your first client in Burlington, though?
It's funny. The daughter saw us. This is before we had our own Facebook group.
Okay.
The daughter saw on the Burlington, Massachusetts Residents Network that we're here, we're ready to start. Now we need clients. And everything's
We need a
confidential.
lawn to mow.
Everything's confidential too. We don't say the person's name.
Right. No, I've noticed that on your Facebook. On Facebook, it's like we did lawn number 72.
Or family number 1.
Family number 1.
Family
okay.
number 1, the daughter saw it and said, the person lives in Burlington. It's my mother. She's 93 years young. I know you say you're the Lawnmowers Dream Team, but you also pull weeds. In my flyer specifically says, we will look at your lawn
We'll
on
do
a
what we
lawn
can.
by lawn basis.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking in
The weeds are taller than you are.
Yeah, we're going to pull weeds. We're going to trim bushes. We're going to pick up trash. But if you're an able-bodied person, you're going to help pick up the trash.
Absolutely.
You're going to help pick up the branches. Because we were specifically trying to focus on mowing
Okay.
and possibly weed whacking or weed pulling. So we kept it confidential. The first person was 93 years young. We didn't have to mow her lawn because she already had someone to do it.
Okay.
So we pulled weeds. And then it built.
Okay. And then
I'd
she
say
told
maybe-
two friends, and they
She's
told
real
two
nice
friends?
too. She's from Germany. Very active. She drives. She's a real nice person.
Wow.
And she showed us what she wanted done in a nice way. I'd say the first.
The nice way is helpful.
Right. Oh yeah. Everyone. I'd say everyone really treated us great.
It's nice to feel appreciated.
Yep. And the thing is, with her, we didn't have a Facebook group yet. So the first 8 families we helped, we specifically was using the Burlington, Massachusetts
Okay.
Residents Network, just to let people know people did trust us.
Okay.
We did a great job because we didn't tell people to do this, but some people said, hey, we used the Dream Team and they did a great job. Versus, we used the Dream Team,
Okay.
we'll never use them again. And the thing is, if they like what we did,
Okay.
every 3 weeks, we'll come back, no charge.
Oh, wow.
So it was on a rotating.
So you kind of have to keep track of.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why I have the records.
You got the book.
As of today, we've done 110 lawns.
Wow.
Not 110 different families.
Right.
110
Well, with
lawns.
the 3-week rotation.
Right. And then this was some.
Oh my gosh! And this summer though, it's like
The heat,
you
the
could
water.
watch the grass grow. It was
Big
growing
time.
so fast.
And so one of the volunteers said we should do it every 2 weeks, but we didn't have the person power.
Yeah.
Every 3 weeks, but there was some flexibility. It wasn't rigid. Realistically, it was every 17 days to every 24 days we'd do the lawn.
Okay.
And the thing is, the only constant, because it was on the trust system, I mean, I could tell if someone was elderly. We did not do any credit and asset search. And we didn't
Yeah.
need a full story. We just needed a true story. The only
Yeah, the honor
constants
system.
was we asked the person, we cannot mow your lawn until you please sign a waiver stating that we are volunteers. We will not accept any payment or tips. We will accept, water, fruit, cookies, maybe a sandwich. But some people
Okay.
were very generous and made a dinner. But we will not be responsible for any property damage or personal injury.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we did 110 lawns. We haven't had any incidences. When I was in Chickasha, even though the people didn't have to sign a form, we did 116 lawns. We haven't had any instances. And when Rick Stitt mowed 300 lawns, he hasn't had any incidents.
Wow.
My insurance agent said, Jay, this is in 2021, what you're doing is fantastic, but you setting yourself up for a potential lawsuit because it just takes one incident where a speck could hit a child or it could hit a car or could hit a window, and you'd be responsible unless you did a
Unless
waiver.
you have that waiver. Okay.
My wife's and even my mother said, you're not mowing any lawns in Burlington or anything else until you get the people to sign the waiver first. And the thing is, we didn't put, when we promoted the event, we didn't put, you must sign a waiver,
Right.
because they didn't know us. We wanted to get their trust. I had to look at the yard first anyways to make sure we could
Right.
mow the lawn.
Exactly.
I mean, what if they had all these rocks or broken bottles? We wouldn't be able to mow the lawn.
Right.
But after I stated, I did look at your property. These are the things we will do for free. It's a page and a half,
That you're not
everyday
gonna,
language. They sign it. They keep a copy. I keep a copy.
Okay.
And I've had all these different people to sign the waiver. There's only one lady that says, I'm not signing the waiver. And I said, unfortunately, we won't be able to mow your lawn because
if
we're not
something
going to be...
Yeah. If something happens,
Right.
we don't want to be.
And the thing is, I even thought of this. Without the waiver, I doubt this would happen. Someone could make up a story and say, oh, yeah, Jay Barnes was on my property and he caused the damage. And I could say, I wasn't on your property. And they could say, yes, you were. And I could say, no, I wasn't. But with the waiver signed,
Yeah.
even if they made up a story, which it hasn't happened, we have the waiver that saves us from any responsibility.
Exactly. It's just that safety net that
Yes.
unfortunately in today's society you need.
People are litigious, but nobody has been litigious for the volunteers, which is great.
Yeah.
I was just going to mention, we ballooned up to 12 people, but we had, once again, our oldest volunteer was 65, and he was awesome. Super shape.
Yay!
Once again, he knew how to mow a lawn great and weed whack. We had a lady named Sheila that was fantastic at pulling weeds. We had a man named Mantron from Vietnam who was awesome at mowing, double mowing, where if there's real thick grass, he'll mow it and go back, and then he'll mow and go back. That way you get a great job.
Oh.
And he was also great at weed whacking. We had a lady named Kunin who was fantastic at weed whacking. She's from Vietnam. Also in weed pulling. One of our most recent lawn mowing people, his name's Brian Spignese. He's from Burlington also. Great. And then we had another lady from China, Jing Chen. She's fantastic at pulling weeds and also using a lopper for branches. And our final person was actually my realtor.
Oh, I love it.
And her name's Joanne Dunn, and she's fantastic at weed pulling. And people asked us in the beginning, one group, we wanted to help the elderly, but one lady said, "Are you realtors?" And back then, before Joanne joined, I said, "No." Do you use the people's bathrooms? Like some people mowing and some people are using the bathroom and saying no. It was funny. One guy even said, "Jay, if I have to use the bathroom, I'll use a gas station, or guess what? I'll go in the woods," or something like that. But I'm saying no. And then she said, "Are you timesharers? Are you trying to sell the house? Are you
Because people just don't have the idea or the concept that someone would be so generous with their time.
With the time.
There's got to be a catch.
And there's no hidden
such
agenda.
thing as free.
I even said, we're not running for politics. We're not timesharers. We're not realtors. Once again, there's no hidden agenda. We're there to mow and assist. But there have been some people, especially one, we can't say the names, but one family's blind from Burlington.
Okay.
When I looked at the lawn, they invited me in to discuss, what needed to be signed. So I've been in houses only when I've been invited in.
Okay.
We've had elderly people who are also injured or handicapped.
Okay.
That said, and one time it was raining too, and he said, "Jay, I can't walk and show you what needs to be done. You look, I'll describe what needs to be done. You look, and you come in." And he and his wife felt comfortable with me being in, but I didn't just show up and say, "Hey, can I come in?"
Hell in.
Or something like that. But there's only been a few people that have invited me in. But I have said to some people, especially if they're able-bodied, we can do the volunteer discussions outside.
Yeah. Well, because it's a safety thing for you as well.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, like, I understood the lady asking the questions because she even said, "What you're doing is odd and unusual." And I said, I agree, because there just aren't enough people volunteering.
Just trying to spread some nice in this
yes.
world.
I said, if you want to join, that's fine. But she wasn't interested in volunteering. But just getting back to Mark Seltzer, the 14-year-old from Burlington.
Okay.
He's the current and the future of volunteering. He's awesome.
Excellent.
He's intense, but at the same time he's funny, and he did a great job. He did the job of a seasoned landscaper.
Great.
Even though we're not competing with landscapers, because we're not trying to take jobs.
Right, you're not, but
we want to do as good of his job as we can. And I think we did.
Oh, that's amazing.
And just getting back to Joanne Dunn, she was the last volunteer, and she is a realtor, but she
Okay.
does not use her profession to
Okay.
contact the volunteers and saying, hey, when are you going to sell your house because I can sell it for you? She's just there to pull weeds,
Right.
do a great job. And I just wanted to mention, I want you to ask questions, but I just wanted to mention, it's
Oh,
funny.
you're doing a great job.
I know, it's funny. I just wanted to mention, people have asked, well, why do you volunteer?
Yeah.
And I always answered, well, you get this good feeling helping others. It's this internal satisfaction. It's great seeing the before and after.
Did you ever take pictures of like before and
Yes,
after?
but we don't take pictures of the people.
Well, no,
And we
I
don't
get
take
that.
pictures of we don't have the house because someone might know the house.
Right. Okay.
But we do it before and after. But the thing is, this is the great part. I've made so many friends in Chickasha and Burlington with either volunteers
Okay.
or the
Clients.
families we help
Why not?
because they all have great stories. And
Although it's kind of hard to hear a story if you're
well,
using a
we
weed
finished.
whacker
Well,
or
that's the
lawnmower.
thing.
It's kind of loud.
I've shared with the people, the volunteers, family, education, career, social life, hobbies, chewing gum, literally anything comes first before the volunteering. The volunteering is supposed to be when you're available.
Your free
It's supposed to
time.
be free time, and it's supposed to be fun.
Okay.
It's not supposed to be, even for me, like I'm a full-time volunteer, it's supposed to be fun.
Oh yeah.
Like I can decide if I want to help people. And the thing is, I got to be honest, I've helped and we've helped 2 families in Woburn, but they've had Burlington roots.
Oh, there you go.
One person was in Woburn and she said, Jay, I'm on the Burlington, Massachusetts Residents Network. I have absolutely nobody, no neighbors can help. My husband's handicapped or injured. My daughter is handicapped, and my son is also has autism. And she even was honest. She said, I'm very obese. We have no neighbors that can help. We live less than 5 miles from the Burlington border. Would you guys at least look at the lawn? I looked at the lawn, and it wasn't huge. All it needed was some TLC. Lawn mowing, weed pulling, weed whacking. Got 2 other volunteers, and they helped.
Great.
And then she only needed one more time. And Montron and I, he weed whacked, I mowed. And after that, she said, you know something? You gave us the incentive to keep the yard looking nice.
Oh wow.
And then there was another lady that said, Jay, I grew up in Burlington, graduated from Burlington. My parents live in Burlington. I recently moved to Woburn. I teach in Burlington. And
I need
could
some
you
help.
help? And I live less than 5 miles from the Burlington border. And I said, once again, I'd have to look at the lawn,
Yep.
make sure we can do it. And both people from Woburn signed the waiver form.
Okay.
Myself and the first volunteer that joined me, we mowed the lawn. And she said, Jay, and I actually trimmed branches and brought them in the
Oh,
backwoods,
wow, okay.
all for free. And she was appreciative, and she said, Jay, I'm a very independent person, and you gave me the incentive to continue what you did, and since you got rid of the branches, now I just have to
Wow.
mow. And this person does indoor maintenance on her own.
Excellent.
She
Sometimes
qualified.
you just need that little
Yeah, and she was a
hand-holding or-
single parent.
Okay.
So she definitely qualified, and she qualified because she did not have a landscaper. But the one constant, once again, is everyone that we've assisted signed that waiver form.
Okay. Well, question for you.
Sure.
Well, I have lots of questions,
Go
but
ahead.
you talked about the flyers
Yes.
and the lawnmower and the
Yes.
weed whacker and, transportation, and how do you finance this? Because, mowing all these lawns, you're going to need lawnmower maintenance. you're going to, probably need car
Gasoline.
maintenance, gasoline, and gasoline in some places is just like,
Oh yeah, and the
astronomical.
right type of gasoline.
So how do you
Well-
fund all of this stuff? Do you have fundraisers, or does somebody donate?
Sure. After I made my first 500 million, I decided to give back to the community. No, seriously. Literally before the first volunteers said, "Jay, want to join?" People are saying, "We want to give you a gas card for your lawnmower, not for the driving, because we
but
didn't
for the lawnmower.
for the lawnmower." And like 8 people said, "We want to donate."
Wow.
And I'm saying, let us get some clients first, and then yes. But people said,
Well,
no.
because your time is valuable, so
people-
why should you be donating your time and your money? I mean,
Right, because we're volunteers.
it gets
I mean,
it
we're not
adds up.
we're not millionaires, but we do want to help. And the thing is, the people said, "You know something? We want to send. How can I send you a gift card?" And I'm old school. I didn't have Venmo. I didn't even know what Venmo meant until I got my hair cut in February of this year. Someone said, I said, "Well, do you accept tips with a debit card or tips with a credit card?" They said, "It's only cash or Venmo or PayPal." And I'm saying, "Well, I know PayPal. I know cash, obviously." Well, I'm so old school. I said, "You can mail the gift card," and I gave my address.
Okay.
But then some people said, "We want to send money so you can get your lawnmowers, like the blade sharpened or an oil change or something a little more serious." And I was old school. I didn't have Venmo.
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, you write a check to Jay Barnes," because once again, the Burlington Lawnmowers
yeah.
Dream Team was just a name.
Okay.
So
Honor system here. Yeah.
mail a check, or you can visit me, or I can visit you, and you can give cash. And I promised to hold on to it because we didn't have a bank account then. And that's how it worked in the beginning.
So do you have a bank? It sounds like you have a bank account now.
Recently, we have a
Cool.
EIN number where we do have a
Okay.
bank account at the Cambridge Savings Bank. I got some
Excellent.
serious help from a assistant manager named Sabrina, and she said the best thing to do is have because you're not going to be a not-for-profit, you're a
Right.
volunteer group
Okay.
with the name the Burlington Lawnmowers Dream Team, but you're going to have a tax-free, interest-free bank account
Oh, wow.
where any donations go into the account and you make the withdrawals for gas cards, or if someone says, "Jay, my lawnmower needs a blade sharpening," or guess what? I need a completely new blade because I ran over a rock, and
Need
that
a new
has
string
happened.
thing for my weed whacker.
Yes,
Yeah.
the weed whacking. Any device that needs gasoline was used.
Okay.
Obviously, if someone wanted to buy 28 Snickers, I'm sorry, you got to buy your own Snickers.
Yeah.
But seriously, the weed whacking, the lawn mowing, the gasoline, and we did two special projects actually, where there was a dump fee involved, where we actually took
Oh, okay.
the
Like
leaf bags
the lawn waste. Okay.
and we brought it to Woburn. The person thought we were, the person actually was supposed to pay us, but he forgot. He was an older man, so we covered the expense. It was like
wow.
$45. It would have been $60, but the other volunteers said, "Listen, we're a volunteer group. Can you help us out?" And he
Yeah.
brought it down to $45. So
To
instead of
start.
making him pay the $45,
Okay.
I gave him $45, and through those donations, I was able to be reimbursed.
Okay.
And I have everything documented,
Oh, perfect.
what happened, and we're doing great. We also had one volunteer say, "Jay, I know how to fix lawnmowers." Because people wanted to donate lawnmowers too.
Yeah. Well, what happens? I thought I read on Facebook
Yeah.
that somebody did donate.
I realistically we must have since June have 12 people donating lawnmowers, and some were outstanding lawnmowers, and some were good for spare parts. But one guy who was great at weed whacking and lawn mowing said, "Jay, do you know I also fix lawnmowers?"
Wow.
And I said, "No." I go, "You do everything." And he goes, "I will fix the lawnmowers. I will only charge
For parts?
not labor.
Okay.
We
That
will
seems
sell
fair.
the lawnmowers. We will use that money
To
for
go back to the Dream Team.
Yes, but the thing is, so many people were donating lawnmowers, and because he was fixing the lawnmowers, and he's the person that has the son,
Oh, okay.
they weren't able to mow or weed
Oh,
whack. And I'm saying,
no.
I want you to
I
weed.
need you to
Yes,
yeah.
because it was real hot.
Okay.
And eventually, they were just specializing in fixing the lawnmowers. But
Which
they
I'm
did
sure is
great.
pretty
He gave me
time-consuming, too.
$400 that went
Wow.
$400 after he actually sold the lawnmowers. And actually, when he took his parts expense out, he gave me $400 that went right into
Wow.
the bank account at the Cambridge Savings Bank. And then and his son approached the Rotary Club and said, "What is the Rotary Club?" And Kevin McKelvey explained what it was.
Okay.
And then Mark explained that we're the Burlington Lawnmowers Dream Team. Would you guys consider giving a small donation?
Mm.
Well, guess what? Back in August, the Burlington Rotary Club donated $200 to our cause.
Wow.
They knew we were the Burlington Lawn Mowing Dream Team by name only. So the check said, it was going to say Mark Seltzer,
Okay.
but his father said, just put your name on it. You hold on to it. And once again, in September, we became official with a bank account. But
Yay.
yeah, $200.
That's
I
a-
represented everyone. We were going to have like 3 different people join us, and I was going to give like a brief talk
Okay.
on what we do. But I spoke in front of the Rotary Club,
Wow.
and then they gave the check, and it was great. And I'm going to be there for the Rotary Club, maybe helping them out, because I've helped.
Yeah, they
with
do a lot of volunteer work.
They do tons of volunteer work. And they even said, because we had a volunteer saying, we should become a not-for-profit. And I'm saying,
That's
it's a
a
bad
lot.
idea, because we're a seasonal fun group.
Okay.
The bigger we become, the
The
more,
less fun it's going to be.
the less fun it's going to be. And the IRS is going to be saying, wait a minute, you have all this money, and you're going to have to record
Yeah.
every transaction. And Kevin McKelvey was honest too. He said, "Jay, there's a not a membership fee, but an entrance fee just to become a not-for-profit that could be as much as $700. You need a paid board of directors. You need a chairman of the board. I know you said you don't take jobs away from landscapers, but the bigger you become, the more you're going to alienate those landscapers,
Yeah.
politician friends of landscapers, family members of landscapers." And I said, "Well, I don't want to do that." And he also said, it's very time consuming.
Oh,
so
yeah.
make sure
A lot of administrative.
you do what you said you're going to do. And I agree with you. Seasonal, temporary, fun group that just happens to have the name the Burlington Lawnmowers Dream Team.
So I guess this means you're not going to do any snow plowing.
Definitely not.
No snow shoveling.
It was funny, that same guy said we should be a leaf raking dream team. We should be a snow removal dream team. And I said, I'm 56. I got a sore
I
back.
don't want to do this.
The equipment's expensive. And even if you do a great job, 2 hours later, it could snow again.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous just driving to a person's house that needs assistance because of the ice and
Yeah.
the snow.
So winter's out.
Winter's out and the fall's out too.
No lawn.
We
no leaf cleanup.
There's no leaf.
Okay.
Dream
What about
team.
spring yard cleanup?
Yeah, we're going to start earlier next year.
Okay.
We'll restart And most likely it'll either be late April or May 1st.
Okay.
We just started late because my back started feeling better, and I noticed the need, and I thought of it right away. And even though it was rushed, everything
Still seems
is
to
well
work.
written. Everything's documented. And it mentions landscapers can volunteer if they wanted to.
Although
None of them have.
landscapers are
but
pretty busy.
They're super busy.
I've called like
It's a
3 and
career.
haven't heard back
And
from
they
any
say
of them. So
They have so many clients, and we would never, ever
dream of taking them away.
dream of taking anything. That would be a nightmare for me because most landscapers are bigger and stronger than me and younger. And they know how to use a weed whacker.
And they know how to use a weed whacker.
But we, in the beginning, they could communicate me through Facebook
Okay.
Messenger, and also through my email. It's
Okay.
real original email, j.b.barnes@gmail.com.
We should have had that up throughout the show so people will know how to contact you.
Well, I can give it again, and I never really...
I just wasn't sure, for the graphic, trying to get the
Sure.
whole Facebook chain. But if
And the
somebody
thing
did
is, the,
Burlington Lawnmowers Dream Team search, they'd
Sure.
find it.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Just go on Facebook, type the Burlington Lawnmowers Dream Team. You can join the group. There's 200 members,
Okay.
and a lot of them are contributors, and they've been great. But the thing is, I never really disclose my phone number because I don't want to get prank phone
no.
calls. Okay.
No,
I
we
was
want to
gonna
keep.
give it-
We need
okay.
to keep you safe.
Yes.
So email is fine.
Yep, email, Facebook Messenger, and I definitely respond to the people because I have records. I have all the people we've mowed. I have the dates we mowed them. I have what we did for the people, and I
Okay.
even have former people that we've assisted.
Wow.
So all these people, there's one person I didn't mention, Michael Schultz. He was Julie's boyfriend. He was great at mowing and also weed
Excellent.
whacking. But right now we have 5 active people. We have me, Brian, Jing Chen, Joanne Dunn, and Conan. And we do everything except weed whack or weed eat. And we've kept it going,
There you
110 families.
Excellent.
And you can ask any questions you have. I know I've been...
Well, I'm also, we only have like a few minutes left.
Really?
Really, there's 5 minutes left.
Oh my word, that whole hour?
I know. So what?
Ask away. Go ahead, I'll be silent.
Couple of questions. What advice would you give someone who's interested in starting this in Billerica or in Woburn? Because you already have a couple of Woburn clients. There might be more.
Try to get as many volunteers as you can. Be professional, but be funny and friendly. We are not robots. Just, if possible, the founder should also be the administrator of the website or the web page.
Okay.
And they should keep excellent records.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'd recommend. And just have fun and do it seasonally.
There you
Don't
go.
be a not-for-profit. It's not the right idea.
So do you have any different plans for next year? I know you said you're going to start earlier, so you were hoping to start earlier in May.
Yes.
But is there anything you want to provide as a service next year that you
Yes.
didn't this year?
It's funny. I personally think I can do everything, but I don't want to do everything because that wouldn't be fun. I'm actually, and I'm sharing with the community, before May 1st, yes, I will learn how to weed whack.
Yes.
Whether I have to use YouTube or if I have to pay someone or if someone wants to volunteer their time, I'm going to learn how to weed whack. But we're going to continue doing what we're doing. We will never clean gutters. We will never paint houses, but we will do those things. And the thing is, the volunteers can decide what they want to do.
Okay.
And they can decide if they want their name mentioned, because some people said, Jay, I just want to
be
do everything
anonymous.
anonymous. But they can decide, Jay, I just want to mow lawns. Jay, I want to mow lawns and weed whack. Or Jay, I want to do it all, but I only want to do it on these days.
Okay. What happens when it rains?
It's funny. I will mow a lawn as long as it isn't a downpour and there isn't any lightning. But
Yeah, standing out in the middle of an open field holding a big metal object
Yeah.
probably isn't the smartest thing to do.
but it's funny, in Chickasha, I've done a lawn where there was a tornado warning. So
Oh, wow.
I'm
We
there.
don't get too many of those around here.
Right, but I'm there for the people. There's been a lot of trust. We've been successful. And we keep the community involved because people said, we want to know what you're doing. We find it exciting. And we also think it's great that you keep everything confidential. No one will know.
And you're making Burlington, you're beautifying
There is a
Burlington.
before and after, and people like what we're doing. And I made a lot of friends helping the families and the volunteers. Whether it's short-term friendship or if they come back, some of them, everyone's welcome back to in 2022. But I know their schedules are super, they're really involved.
You were going to tell me about T-shirts. weren't you?
Yes. Each group,
Don't stand up.
no, I won't.
You got a leash.
Each group, the Chickasha Lawnmowers Dream Team, I bought the shirts and I took them out to dinner,
Okay.
drinks included. And the Burlington Lawnmowers Dream Team,
Oh, I love
we
it.
had the group picture, and the group picture is, this is a large,
Okay.
is the same picture. I put on a shirt through G&D Customs in Burlington,
Oh, excellent.
and I plan on taking out the current volunteers, either to a restaurant
Wow.
or something. I was going to be apple picking, but that already went by. But it'll probably be a restaurant or
Yeah, I think you could still
lunch
squeeze
or
some
dinner.
pumpkin picking. You could go to a, well,
I
yeah.
was thinking the duck tours, but that's kind of far away.
Well, they're also super expensive.
Yeah. But
We
once
could
again,
find something.
yeah, I
We
want to
could
do
find
something.
something.
Yeah, I want to do something. I don't want people saying, "Thanks for volunteering. See you around." I want to say,
See you next year.
"Hey, thanks for joining me for a free meal, and we can kick back and have fun."
Do they still do hay rides? I
They
don't
do.
know.
There's
'Cause I'm
haunted
like
hay
that-
rides.
I'm just thinking, that could be fun
Yeah,
if
something.
there's something around here.
Yep.
Wilson Farms, I think, they used to do like a spooky hayride or a haunted hayride.
Right.
So that could be fun.
The thing is, we will not go to McDonald's or Burger King or any fast
No.
foods. We will not be able to go to Capitol Grill. Sorry, I can't afford that either. But it'll be something in the middle. It'll be fun.
There you go.
But
Well,
yeah, it's been great.
Now we actually are out of time. So I definitely want to thank you. It was
Thank you.
wonderful meeting you and wonderful hearing your story, and it's just very inspirational, and I wish you very much success in both,
Thank you.
continued health as well as continued lawn manicuring.
Thank you. And we will volunteer till October 30th.
Okay. So thank you very much. And I also want to thank everyone at home for tuning in this evening. I hope you've found tonight's discussion as enlightening and as heartwarming as I have. And I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll see you around town. Good night.